are live in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, and happy Wednesday. This is Vanessa the Vivacious with Vanessa the Vivacious Show. I am so excited that you're here, but above all, I'm excited that we're both here because I started this show in 2012. Didn't really know what I was doing, but much like anyone starting their podcast, they didn't know what they were doing either. So 2012 was the perfect time to have a podcast because no one really knew what they were doing. If you were not a professional at NPR or if you were not on broadcast media, then you really didn't have much of a guidance. But that was cool because it was kind of like the Wild West. And I've said this before, but during my initial show, I guess during my initial year, I actually used music from Apple. Well, no. I take it back. Apple, don't get mad. So I ripped music from whatever source and then I uploaded it. And when I posted the show on Apple Podcast, it took it. It didn't do anything or get mad at me like it does now, right, for us. If you do that, I don't do that no more. But yeah, I was committing copyright infringement at one point in time. Have not done it since, but just hilarious that it even allowed it to be uploaded, but it did. So anyway, what is it that they call that? Statute of limitations, guys. Statute of limitations. Apple music people. Statute of limitations. Thank you guys so much for being here and welcome once again, Vanessa the Vivacious Show. Back in the day, I used to always introduce myself as, well, Vanessa the Vivacious, but when I did my little tagline, it was always welcome, welcome, welcome. And I don't really do that anymore because I've learned more words. Imagine that. But honestly, today I am just happy to be with you. I'm feeling under the weather, so please excuse me if I don't, phrase everything correctly or if I repeat myself. Medication is great, but I am not feeling well. However, I wanted to make sure to spend Wednesdays with you, and so that's what we're doing every Wednesday. Back when I first started the show, I was really erratic about posting. And as you all know, and any professional will tell you, if you don't post regularly or if you don't stay committed to your recording and posting schedule, then you're more likely to discontinue your show or to go do other things. And that's true. I did do other things and I went other directions, but then podcasting, video creation, film, media, all of that found its way back to me over the course of my life. And it's 100% present now and it's everything. So here we are back again, 2026 though, not 2012, but we've learned so much. I've learned so much in terms of audio production, video production, film, media, copyright law. I took a wonderful class, shout out John Hansen over at Dallas College, who led the most amazing production management course. I'm telling you, if you're in Dallas and you are interested in media or film or TV or broadcast for that matter, Dallas College Northlake is the place to be because one of your classrooms is a TV studio. So I kid you not, best place, best instructors, Professor Vance, Professor Ruska, Professor Hansen, anyone that they put in those rooms is gold. And then you learn a lot from your fellow students as well. Now, prior to that, I did attend TCU back in 2002. I was there for about a year and some change, ran out of funding and had to figure things out for myself, but not to say that it's not a great film school. It has its moments, but I do love every experience that I've had. The majority of my experiences come from worldwide adventures, talking my way into an internship that didn't exist, running alongside big dogs in production that had been doing this for so many years, and yet somehow they saw me as the one to be, and they brought me on, and I just learned so much by doing and less by talking, but more so by doing. So anybody will tell you that if you go out there and you make something, that is the best way to learn as opposed to reading about it, right? Or listening to podcasts about it. The main important idea or takeaway to always have in terms of creating something is that you just have to go and create it. If you need to do storyboards, if you need to do notes, whatever it is that your process is okay. It's good. You can modify it with different processes or different tutorials from different people. That's well and good, but above all, be yourself. That's most important. I believe there was a video that a filmmaker posted very recently, and what he said in that video was like, to heck with film school and to heck with all these rules and doing things that are true to you in the moment in terms of making your film, making your podcast, making your video. That's what's important. There is that magical line that most filmmakers will not cross. Well, it's a line that's meant to be crossed. If there wasn't a line that was there, then it would just be free open space. And so do without what you will, be creative as you will, and just remember that if it's done by you with passion and with purpose, then you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. And if someone doesn't like your work, okay, well, somebody else will. I remember there was a film about the actor who tried to make it in Hollywood, and every film he did, he was actually really terrible. And I can't remember the name of it, but I do recall that the brother were in it. The Franco brothers were there. And it was just an amazing film. The title escapes me, but the main actor trying to be an actor and just failing miserably. And it wasn't just because of not having opportunity, but he was actually really bad. But then being really bad became his strong suit, and he became so strong and so awesome. So it's just a wonderful movie. I wish I could remember the title. I'll put it in the comments when I post this after I research it and say, oh yeah, silly, that's what it was. Speaking of films, updates for you. I currently am working on a documentary that I was not supposed to work on for at least a few years. I have a list of films that I'm working on, and this one in particular is very difficult for me because it is a documentary about me, and it has to do with finding my family's origin indigenous tribe and also finding my father. And if you've heard other episodes on the Humanity 2.0 podcast, you'll kind of get a little bit of background into my backstory, but then also Vanessa the Vivacious show, you'll find tidbits as well. If you want to know me, know my work, that's usually what I tell people, but it's actually really true because I do drop a lot of life nuggets inside both of those podcasts. So there you go. But anyway, so I was talking to a really close friend over lunch in Orlando, Florida, while attending Podfest, or it was at the end of Podfest. Description link there for you as well. We were talking, and I was telling her about this documentary, and I said it'll be the hardest film that I ever make, and I just want to do it last because I'm not really sure how I would feel if I made it right now. And being, a person of color, being indigenous, being female, all of these areas are critical right now. Being in media as a minority is critical, right? Always critical. What I mean by critical is that it's important. It's so important to speak up and to be in the forefront and not in the background, because there are so many creatives that are Latina or other minorities Latino and other minorities. And it's just so important for us to be in the forefront, be the directors, be the writers, be the visionaries as well, in addition to all of our brothers and sisters of other cultures. And so I just really, 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 really want that to be a conversation and part of the creative boom that's happening all over the world. So that being said, I wasn't intending to make this documentary, but after speaking to her, she said, well, as long as you have a life guru or a life coach or somebody to help guide you and sort your feelings, therapist, etc., then you'll be fine. And then she volunteered her services as a life coach, and I was like, you're on, buddy. So shout out to Stephanie. Love her very much. I will link her company in the description as well. I just always have a problem saying that. So that documentary is currently in progress. I have started framing out what's going to happen. I've made some video diaries that are posted all over my socials, and then I'm creating a page for that movie so that way everyone can have a central place. And then I actually got a message from a genealogist who was a previous guest on the podcast for Are You Happy podcast, where I took over that show in I think 2022 or 2020. Yeah, 2022, I want to say. And so I interviewed this marketing guru who then turned out to be apparently a genealogist as well. And so he volunteered his services, and he's, God bless him, helping me out. And I literally sent him an email with all these names and dates and questions that he asked. And then I sent like 2 more because I kept on getting updates from various family members. And so last night it was really hard for me because I'm getting messages, but I'm also connecting with family that I haven't talked to in years. And it's just, life happens in such a way that sometimes you lose connection, or sometimes things happen. And so it's been very interesting in speaking to various family members and getting to learn more about the family. I grew up thinking that my mother had 11 siblings, and turns out she had 15. And so there's so much that I don't know. And I know that I will learn more about her side and the indigenous part. That part, I'm pretty certain we're going to get a resolve there. But as far as my father, I don't know that we will. And so it's going to be a journey for both of those particular subjects in one documentary. And I am determined to have it all done this year so I can submit it for 2027 festival circuit and or distribute it or just show it in the theaters. But I'm super excited for it, and I hope you are too. The working title for that film is called I Come From Silence. Again, documentary by myself, Vanessa the Vivacious, and then I will have other folks that work on it as well. If you're interested in being part of the crew, whether it's production, whether it's marketing, whether it is research, anything at all, investors for the film as well, anything at all, reach out to me at vanessathevivacious@gmail.com or any other social platform and let me know, and we can collaborate, get together, have a meeting, do coffee. We'll have your people talk to my people. I am my people. But yes, let's do it. Other film, the Mexican horror film that I am working on as an executive producer. That film is awesome. It is currently in revisions right now for script. And so that team is working tirelessly around the clock to get that script just perfect. Having a cultural Mexican horror film is just amazing. The concept is amazing. I literally don't even have to really pitch it because I can go up to someone and say 3 words, Mexican horror film. And they're just like, their eyes are like wide. It's amazing. So stay tuned for a future. Stay tuned for future updates on the Charcoal Woman, which is the Mexican horror film that is in pre-production and going to soon be in production. Again, same rules apply. If you are interested in investing for this film, do reach out to me at the Vanessa the Vivacious at gmail.com. If you are a casting director, music supervisor, other production crew, union or non-union, definitely reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about this film and getting on crew and just seeing where that goes. So definitely reach out. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the creative flow. Everyone has one. Nobody doesn't have one. I love double negatives, but I just really want to reiterate that whatever your flow is, it's your flow. No one can take it away from you. No one can tell you that you're doing it wrong. I mean, they can tell you that you're doing it wrong, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to advocate for yourself. If you feel like you're doing it right, then do it. If later on you find that you're stalled, well, it's possible that they might have been right, but everyone has to come to that truth in their own time. So if you don't want to waste a lot of time and then eventually come back to that particular point that they were right, then my suggestion is be open. Be completely open. Be unapologetically open to where it feels like you're just uncomfortable and exposed, but then know yourself and maintain yourself while also learning from others and receiving their criticism as positive and only constructive, and then doing what you will with that information. It's so important not to be closed off from people in the creative field. And even if you're like a loner, it's even more hard to not be that way, but you just have to. It's the only way that you're going to survive creatively. It's the only way that you're going to collaborate with amazing people and do amazing things. So just be open to others and stay true to yourself at the same time. My hope of the day, my hope is for humanity and the arts. I remember a time when we were little, or even growing up, and there was a lot of talk and news coverage about the arts being taken away from schools. I could not believe that they would take music programs, art programs, all of these amazing artistic endeavors, that they would pull them out from schools, whether it be elementary, middle schools, high schools. I just can't imagine. I don't know if it's still happening. I hope not. I hope they put them back. But I do recall them taking them away from the schools and saying that they were just extra and that they needed to be taken out for budgetary reasons. I argue that they are needed and that they are mandatory because the child can learn how to add 1 plus 1 and read what is 1 plus 1, but there is more to the 1 and why it is plus 1. Good Lord, I'm not a math person, but there's a reason why we add. There's a reason why we have addition. There's a reason behind everything, and there's passion and there's conviction. There's so many things behind everything, right? And so the arts are that catalyst for us to explore ourselves and to be just really, really creative and encouraged and to feel supported, but also to have confidence. So when I was young, I played flute, and I got that confidence. I got that respect for myself in achieving things and seeing what I could do and pushing myself to the limits by rehearsing for 4 hours. And yes, I put my hands in the freezer after 2 hours and then I practiced for 2 more, but it wasn't the action. It was the end result. And it was the medals. It was the scholarship for music. It was the experience of not knowing something and then learning it and then being determined to explore how it made me feel. And then as an adult, 15 plus years later, in between high school and, the last few years, I played in an orchestra. I joined them in 2017, and then I became their president like a year and a half later or something like that. And then I was president for 5 years in addition to playing. There's something about playing music or singing music that we all do that too. It is beyond words, but I can tell you for a fact that when I play the flute, whether it was on stage or in a room or what have you, when I play, I don't know about you, but when I play, I feel as though I am singing my heart out through that instrument. I sing through that instrument and it comes through. And sometimes it comes through too much because I will like play too hard. But ultimately, just having creative passions and creativity instilled in us as children, as youth, as adults, those programs are so integral. So I would encourage you to check with your schools for your children or yourself and find out if the arts programs for art and music are still present. And if not, start a petition and figure out how to make it happen to get them back, because they need to be there for our kids, for our future, and for humanity. So that is my hope for humanity. Bring back the culture, bring back the arts, and bring back the boom. So I wanted to make this episode short because previous ones have been long and not feeling good, like I said. So my final thought is this: be good, do good, help others be good and do good. And I kind of stole that from Kindness Worldwide because that's their thing. Well, the be good, do good part. And then I could not recall the last part. So I'm so sorry, guys. Kevin and yes, they are amazing. Kindness Worldwide, go check them out. Their story is amazing. They have a documentary that just came out, or it's coming out, and it's screened at Podfest. And oh my goodness, it is the most heartwarming, humanitarian, good human confirming film that you'll see in some time. And you will absolutely love it when it does get released officially. So keep an eye out for the Kindness Worldwide film. It is called For As Such a Time As This. Forgive me, Kevin, if I didn't pronounce that correctly. I will put the link to information on Kindness Worldwide in the description for this episode, but I just had it on the heart to share that. And the be good, do good thing, I just had it on the heart to share that. I always share the words "be good to other humans" on Humanity 2.0, and with Vanessa the Vivacious, with the branding, with the show, with me, the tagline is always "be vivacious." If you're not familiar with the definition of being vivacious, it means to be full of life, to take advantage of everything that comes your way, and to really just grasp and flourish and just be, right? To be vivacious. So don't forget to be vivacious and tune in next week on Wednesday when we push out another wonderful episode of Vanessa the Vivacious Show. As a reminder, I am, goodness, I'm so sorry. I am creating, publishing, recording, exporting out of Riverside, because I really love Riverside and I want to test. So it's kind of like a soft challenge where I record in Riverside and push the show out through Riverside. So that way I can test that full functionality of their platform, because I want folks to know that you can do so much in Riverside and also explore what may need a little bit of shine, but they are making changes every day. As you know, a lot of changes have happened recently, so it has been a little bit difficult in terms of recording or producing in Riverside, but that does not mean that there's anything wrong. What's actually happening is that there's so many updates that are coming through, and that there's really, 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 really good stuff that's coming down the line. I have an old computer, so it can be a little temperamental, and that does happen for folks with older computers. But as we move forward, as we get additional gear, better computers, then we will be able to run with the big dogs who are able to get virtual backgrounds all by themselves. So again, thanks you guys for joining me on Vanessa the Vivacious Show. Happy Wednesday. Have a happy life, and we will see you next week. And don't forget to be vivacious. Join us next time on Vanessa the Vivacious podcast, and don't forget to be vivacious.